What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video where today we're going to be doing my preview of Manchester City's FA Cup game against Salford City. Before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe. It is free to subscribe. Do also go and check out my social media links. You can find them in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video and do let me know your thoughts in the comments below, including your score and team prediction for this game. Finally, this video is sponsored and brought to you by SofaScore. They're going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest scores from around the ground, including everything that's happening in the FA Cup third round this weekend. They'll keep you up to date with the latest match information, along with the latest scores, statistics and analysis and all your good footballing needs, all in one place, all in one app. It's a free app to download and worthwhile checking out. It's not just limited to football, by the way, guys. It's got all the sports that you guys love to follow covered all in one place, all in one app, covering all of the scores from around the grounds with all the sports that you guys do want to go and follow. So do go and check it out. As I said, it is a free app to download, worthwhile checking out. The links and details, they are in the description. Anyone that does download SofaScore using my link in the description or the QR code on screen does help to support the future content created here on my channel. So, Manchester City taking on Salford City at the Etihad Stadium in the FA Cup third round on Saturday, 11th of January 2025 with a 5:45 PM GMT kickoff time, with the game being broadcast live on BBC One. Anybody heading to the Etihad Stadium, do keep yourselves safe. It's very cold outside. There's a lot of snow and ice, so do keep yourselves safe. I know there's a few games this weekend that have already been called off due to the weather here in the UK. I'm not entirely sure that this game is going to survive. We'll have to wait and see. I do hope that it does. Going off the fact that City are a very organised club, a Premier League club, I imagine they'll probably want this game to go ahead, and they'll try and use every ounce that they can to try and get this game to go ahead. So anybody that does go to the game, do keep yourself safe, but do enjoy yourself. So, Salford City, formed in 1940, our opponents for today, putting some context on them before we even speak about their massive Manchester United connection. There's just 4.3 miles that separates the Peninsula Stadium, the home of Salford City, and the Etihad Stadium, and there's also 4.3 miles separating Old Trafford and the Etihad Stadium, so separating Manchester United and Manchester City's home, and it's the same distance that separates Manchester City and Salford City's home. So very interesting, and just found it very convenient that there's 4.3 miles separating all of them clubs sandwiched together. So it is very much a local game, and as Pep Guardiola has already said in his press conference, lives in Salford. It's his living home of what he's got, so he does have a little bit of a soft spot for Salford and has a lot of respect for them. Now, Salford City have a huge Manchester United connection. Obviously, they're owned by the class of '92. So David Beckham, who bought his 10% share in the club from Peter Lim in 2019, Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs, Nicky Butt, Gary Neville, Phil Neville, and also Valencia owner Peter Lim are all involved in the class of '92 group that owns Salford City, and it's through their investment that they spent their way out of the non-league and became very disliked in the non-league. They have since got into the English Football League, the EFL, and sit in Tier 4 at League 2 level, and they have kind of stalled in their progress from there. Now, what I also find quite interesting is the average gate at Salford City last season was just less than 3,000 people, yet they've got nearly double that coming for this away day at the Etihad Stadium. So I'm going to presume that there are a lot of Manchester United fans in that away end for Salford City for tomorrow's game. So dare I suggest that this could be Manchester Derby 2.0, apart from they're actually representing the name of Salford, unlike those in Trafford. So there we go. Anyway, Salford City, led by manager Carl Robinson, former MK Dons manager when they were on the cusp of nearly getting promoted from League One into the Championship. Also managed Oxford United as well up until 2023. He does like to play possession-based football, so I'm not expecting Salford City to try and hoof the ball up and put plenty of long balls into effect, but it might be their only option if Manchester City can have their way and get them pinned. So the question has to be, how is Salford City going to create opportunities opportunities. If they get given a chance or two, how are they going to put them into the back of the net? How are they going to be able to defend deep and keep Manchester City out? How are they going to try and exploit Manchester City on the counter-attack? It has to be, and it's not even 11 out of 10, it's a 12 out of 10 performance from Salford City for them to pull off any kind of result here at the Etihad Stadium, and it will be, if they do manage it, to knock Manchester City out and the disaster happens, then it would go down as one of, if not the biggest FA Cup shock ever. That's the gulfing difference that we're looking at here. So this is a huge banana skin for Manchester City. Now, there is no replays for this game, which I think Salford City will find that a big shame for them. But it was to ease the schedules of the bigger and better teams out in England. And it very much splits opinion amongst a lot of people. And FA Cup, to me, is very traditional. I feel like things should always be Saturday, 3 o'clock. There should be a big build-up on FA Cup final day. I think semi-finals should be at neutral venues. I think replays should be in place, because to me the FA Cup is the most prestigious domestic cup competition in the world. It has a solid foundation, and if them foundations aren't showing any signs of being broken, then what needs fixing? You feel like sometimes to make changes for the sake of making changes, and to be fair, if we're looking at it from a neutral point of view, Salford City have potentially could work really hard and get a draw here at the Etihad Stadium, and they've been robbed of getting Man City to their own backyard and having a replay and a huge payday. Now, Salford City have investment, they don't need the money, but there are other clubs who do need the money, who would rely on that income, who kind of get that robbed away from them to ease the schedules of the bigger teams. So I can see this from both points of view, and I can see why it's frustrating. I think if something's not broken, it doesn't need fixing. Anyway, back to the game. Salford City sitting in third in League 2 in an automatic promotion spot right now, and they will want promotion as well this season. That will be their aim. They will get a lot of money from this game. It's a dream tie for them, apart from maybe playing Manchester United home or away. They've played 24 times so far in League 2 this season, winning half of them games with 12 wins, 6 draws and 6 losses, and find themselves on 42 points. Now, they did knock out Shrewsbury at home in the first round of the FA Cup, and they knocked out Cheltenham at home 2-0 in the second round to set up this game in the third round, where we see the big boys enter the pot. Now, Salford City are in fine form, won 8 of the last 9 games in all competitions and not conceded in the last 6 games, and we do get to have a chance here. Man City have recently been linked with goalkeeper Mateo, who's on loan at Salford City from Sunderland. I expect him to start this game, so he'll have a real point to prove, knowing that Man City are interested and their eyes are definitely having to watch to see how he does do in this game. Could be a case where he gets dropped and their second goalkeeper, Jamie Jones, who was their first choice heading into the season but's lost out on his spot to Matty Young, potentially starting this game. We'll see if they choose to rotate. I'd have thought they'd go full strength here and see if they can try and cause a cup upset, because they have nothing to lose. Why wouldn't you have a pop, if I'm being completely honest with you? Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm an expert on Salford City, that I watch them week in, week out. I don't. I'm looking at their team and I'm thinking to myself, how they're going to work their way out of Bobb. They've got to be looking for the counter-attack. Who's going to be the players that cause Manchester City some problems? And there are some pretty decent players that they've got, in particular for League 2 level. The likes of Cole Stockton up top, Salford City's top goal scorer in League 2 so far this season. I think he's scored 7 goals in the league. Quite a physical striker, could cause City some problems, in particular on set play, and set play could be a really good aspect for Salford City to have a pop at Manchester City in this game. They've got Luke Garbett, their left-sided centre-back, former Everton youngster as well. They've got some players there who could maybe cause Manchester City some problems. In terms of injury news for Salford City, Dan Chesters is out for the season. He misses this game, unfortunately, but everybody else is good to go. So I'm expecting him to go with a typical Carl Robinson 3-1-4-2 formation. Young starting in goal, Shepherd, Tilton, Garbett starting as their 3 centre-backs. Ashley goes further ahead of them. Then a midfield made up of Burko, Watson, Minoga, Farner is their midfield, and then Stockton and Adelakun starting as their 2 strikers. Now, for Manchester City, it's much more straightforward. This for Manchester City, formed in 1894, led by manager Pep Guardiola, find ourselves 6th in the Premier League, chasing the top 4 spot. We're in some pretty bad form. We're looking to try and turn it round. 3 wins in 15 games. We are unbeaten in our last 3 games. We drew 0-0 at home to Everton before a 2-0 away win in the Premier League against Leicester City, and we did win our last game by 4-1 against West Ham as well. Won our last 2. We know if we win this, then minutes, 3 wins in a row, and perfect preparation as we head into a little bit of a busy schedule for Manchester City, including 2 away games coming up, both midweek against Brentford away and also Ipswich Town next weekend away from home as well. We've not been playing too great as of right now. Confidence is on the up, but we're still nowhere near where we want to be. But the question has to be, just focus one game at a time. Can we make it 3 wins on the bounce? We really do have to as well. Now, we do have dangers all over the pitch. So Manchester City, I am expecting to rotate, but there will still be plenty of dangers for Salford City to be thinking about. And some of the players will be, you'll look at them, you'll think they're first team players, but the players that haven't been getting that many minutes for City over the last few games, so they will be given minutes in this game. In terms of injury news for City, Rodri, the only long-term absentee. That's right, Oscar Bobb, no longer a long-term absentee. He's back in training with Manchester City. He's not in contention for this game, but I give it maybe 3-4 weeks time and we may be seeing him around the Manchester City first team squad. As Pep Guardiola explained, it's a clean break. It's not a muscle injury, it's not a complicated injury. Once that broken bone has fixed itself, he is good to go. So it's all about Oscar Bobb now, just getting back up to speed and having his match sharpness there, and that will take a few weeks, and once we're a few weeks time, he'll be good to go. I still reckon it will be end of January into early February before we see him put on a City shirt once more and get some minutes for the club. Ruben Diaz and John Stones, they're both missing from this game, but I do expect to have Matheus Nunes back, who was on the bench against West Ham in our last game, and Pep Guardiola has confirmed that Ederson is also back, so that means that Scott Carson more than likely will not be starting at this game. So I'm going to pop up my team prediction now. Plenty of rotation in place, some first team players around there as well. I'm going Ederson to start in goal, a back three made up of Kyle Walker, Simpson-Pusey and Manuel Akanji. Rico Lewis helping to support in midfield, alongside him Nico O'Reilly. And I also go James McAtee and Grealish in central midfield. I go Jeremy Doku on the right wing, Matheus Nunes on the left wing, Divin Mubama to start up top. So some debuts there as well. I would have the big boys definitely on the bench just in case. Worst case scenario ends up hitting, we need to bring some of the big boys on, then we do need to go and do so. But I'd mix in with some young lads as well, make sure they're getting some minutes here, because after all, end of the day, what we're looking at here is we're playing a League 2 side. We've not played for a week. We want to have a little winter break, so a lot of the regular starters for City I would be resting here, including the likes of Bernardo, Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Nathan Ake, Erling Haaland, everybody else, making sure that they're not featuring in this game. Now, in terms of score prediction, I think City will be too strong for Salford City. I'm going nice and positive. I'm going 5-0 to Manchester City. City to grab 3 in the first half and 2 in the second half, and no cup shock here for this game. Now, in terms of my betting tip, I'm going for 5 different scorers. I'm going Doku, Nunes, McAtee, Grealish and also Mubama to all score if they all do start. So I'm going 5-0 Manchester City, and no both teams to score are my betting tips. Now, next up for Manchester City, we play Brentford away on Tuesday night in the Premier League. For Salford City, it's back to reality for them. They're going to be taking on Fleetwood Town at home in League 2 next weekend. Last note, I'm not going to be doing a live watch along for this game, unfortunately, as I am going to the Etihad Stadium to enjoy this game and hopefully see Manchester City pick up a win and get into the 4th round as well. So if anybody is at the Etihad Stadium, sees me knocking around, don't be scared. Feel free to come over and say hello, as I do love meeting you guys. So there we go. That has been today's video. If you did enjoy this video, do leave a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below, including your score and team prediction for this game. Subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Social media links, they're in the description as well if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And finally, do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. I'll see you all again later on today for my daily Manchester City transfer updates, so do stay tuned for that. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.